Hello,
Hello.
hello, Alex. We meet again.
Let's-
Yeah, what's on our agenda today?
So today I want to talk about going full time as a creator because it's something that I'm asked often on Twitter. I guess that you have similar questions too in that end. So I want to talk about maybe share a bit of our journeys first, like into going full time as creators, and then maybe share a few tips or for people wanting to do it from our own perspective and experience. So if you want to start, and then I can follow with my story.
Okay, so I should start, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, going full time as a creator. Well,
So I guess one question is like, was it something that you planned, or was it something that you kind of stumbled upon? So that's good.
it was a very long like aspiration because I wanted to be a I like it was long time ago. From now on, I think it was around 5 years ago where I had this. Initially, it was a dream to make money online and have this some sort of laptop lifestyle and be your own boss. That was kind of the initial dream. I even didn't know there is such word as creator. There was so kind of, yeah, mostly the googling was how to make money online, and that was a very long time ago. And from there I kind of I discovered Tim Ferriss and then some other bloggers and so on. And I didn't even remember how it crossed my mind that I want to be especially like a content creator or something similar. But yeah, it was a long dream of mine. But yeah, I guess I never really pursued it really hard, that I need to quit my job and I need to figure out how to make money online. Because one kind of important thing which I said to myself, that I want to do it right, in a sense that I don't want to do something that to me feels unethical or anything like that. I kind of wanted to find my thing and so on, and make a living online, but on my own terms, and do something that I like, instead of just getting rid of 9 to 5 and then doing something that I kind of hate online. So yeah, so it was a long dream, and then it was mostly experimenting and trying to figure out what I like, what I want to do. So I tried a bit of blogging, a bit of YouTube, a bit of some other stuff. I still don't remember what I created. I created the journal, this one which we discussed in
True.
another episode. I did like a bunch of random things. But yeah, 1.5 year ago, discovered these visuals, understood that I really like them, felt that there is market for it, and so on. So kind of went all in with these and just focused on one platform. It was Twitter. The reason why I went with Twitter, because it was the reason I liked Twitter. I didn't like to use Instagram on my own at all. So Twitter was
Yeah.
something that I kind of felt, okay, I think if I need to choose like one platform and focus on something, then I will go with Twitter. And I went with Twitter and I started to post my visuals, and rather fast I started to get some sort of momentum, because previously it was zero audience, zero
Yeah,
anything.
of
It was
course.
just creating products and doing random thing on my own in my basement, without any traction. And these visuals, for the first time, showed me that, okay, actually some people care, some people leave comments on my work. What the hell is going on? That felt like huge. And yeah, I think after a while, some freelance gigs started to pour in. Not
Cool.
like pour in, but a couple of requests. Hey, Anis, I like what you do. Could you do this for me? And
Yeah.
that was the first moment of like, oh my God, this actually could work out. And all this happened when there was COVID, and when we were not like traveling or doing a lot of fun stuff. Mostly we were home with my wife and 2 kids, and we got to we saved up quite a lot of, not quite a lot of money, but enough to live like with some sort of benefits from the government, because we had like little kids and so on. Whatever that on the
Yeah.
side, we have enough of money if I would quit my job to live well until like for 1.5 year, so it's quite
Yeah.
big buffer. That's like running out through our savings and being left with nothing. But still, it's some sort of buffer. And I was working in IT, which is very in high demand, like profession. So yeah, and around April, when just I got some sort of growth on Twitter, some gigs came in and so on, I decided basically, actually, I didn't decide. My wife said, we have some money saved up, maybe fuck it and let's do it and, leave
Yeah.
the thing. So yeah, it was basically the initiation came from her, and then we just sat down. We kind of created this money plan and understood where we sat and
Yeah.
so on. And then basically, yeah, I said my work that I'm quitting and I went full time. So it definitely wasn't a complete like YOLO move. It was quite calculated and so on. I believe if I would be a bit younger and I would not have like kids and so on and like house with a loan and so on, I would maybe act more crazy, but this was quite calculated.
Yeah.
And the
I
bottom
mean,
line is we gained some momentum. We had money saved up. There was a sense that, okay, for this work, there is some sort of demand. I understood what I like to do. There was, all those things. So those checkboxes were checked, and that's
yeah.
when I pulled the plug.
Yeah, I think you did it like the right way, like how you should do these things, because obviously it's super cool when you have like a super belief in an idea and so on, and then you're like, oh fuck it, I quit everything and just go all in these ideas. But I've seen it so many times, like people do that and then not finding, like the traction that they hope they find and so on. So I think you were smart by doing it like after you got some traction and some sense that people were willing to pay for it, because you got already a few freelance gigs done and so on. So I think that was the smartest way to to do it, to be honest. So that's, yeah, kudos on you for that.
Well, yeah, but you got a different story. I think you were kind of
Yeah.
forced to figure it out.
Yeah, like the background from is super similar to yours. So obsessed for the last 6-7 years into like this making money online thing, because I was like reading a lot of blogs of people doing it, and like the typical guy who is sitting on the beach with his laptop and living, I don't know, in Bali or whatever, and making a lot of money. I'm like, wow, I want to be like that guy. So I tried like a bunch of different things to, like, I don't know, affiliate marketing here and there. But same as you, I was doing it zero audience, like zero traction, and I didn't really enjoy doing those things. I was more like for the money thing, so that's always like a mistake. But yeah, at the same time, I was having my day job. I work in advertising for the last 4 or 5 years. Like I had like 4 years of experience in advertising. January 2020 or February, I think. I moved to like a different, switch jobs, bigger agency, bigger payment and so on. I was like, yeah, cool. That's cool. But at the same time, I always had like the itch there, like I want to do something on my own, but I never, like fully dive into it, because I was like, I'm happy with my job. I don't hate it. I don't love it like the best thing in the world, but I don't hate it either. It's cool. I'm learning a lot. So I kept there, but then, as you know, COVID came and then they fired us. So basically my journey was like, I was forced to do it. So the good thing is that the firing was like I don't know what's the legal term, but they decided to close the whole office. So the story is that when you do that, you need to go like to trial. It's not like a bad trial, like a crime trial or something like that. It's just like legal trial to see like how much workers need to be paid and so on. So at the end of the day, we just got like a good compensation. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it was like a few months of, worth of my expenses, plus something that I have saved out already. So I was like, okay, now is the time to try to make a push for something. Otherwise, I can just jump back into the workforce, I would say. But I had like, maybe I gave myself like 6 months to try to find something that I could do. And yeah, that's when I stumbled upon Twitter. Basically, the first thing that I did is starting to share things that I learned back in the agency days, but that quickly kind of switched it to like content creation and so on. And that's how more audience started to pour in. As more audience started to come in, some freelance requests came in, and I was like, okay, maybe there is something like here going on, kind of similar than you.
What was your like first freelance offers that you got in the DMs or something?
Yeah, so it's super cool, because the first client that I got is still someone that I still work with today. So it has been almost 1.5 years. So that's super cool. And he just reached out, and don't think that I had like a crazy audience at the time. I think I had like 1,000 followers, something like that, which actually is not that crazy. And he reached out and he was like, hey, I love the content that you make. can you help me, get my content better? And at the beginning, it started more like a strategy kind of consulting, if you want to call it. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I was just like winging it, like winging style. But then he asked me, I kind of became like a sort of a ghostwriter for him, because he was like, okay, the strategy is super cool, but actually I don't have like the time to implement it myself. So do you want to do it? We just, made the deal. And then, since there we have working together. And then, that thing led to me finding more clarity in what I wanted to offer as a service. And then, being way more targeted. And once that happened, then more leads started coming as my audience grew. But the first one was like super random, in the sense that I didn't have anything planned. Like he wanted to make a meeting. I put things quickly together and like send an offer. I didn't even know what I was doing. So yeah, but yeah, I was forced. And I actually, today, when I think about it, I'm actually, when people ask me, I'm lucky that I got fired, because if I didn't get fired, I think I still will have like a corporate job. I wouldn't, I'm not, maybe not, but I'm 80% sure that I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on like being a creator, I think. So
yeah, that's a good, because I think, to me as well, because a little bit before those visuals, I was really tired in my work as well. It was quite a lot of stress, because I recently like changed companies, and it was quite a lot of stress. It was really intense. I didn't really enjoy it. It was like a good company and a good mission, and everything was great, but I don't know, I guess I don't handle stress really well, and I didn't like it. And yeah, that kind of forced me a bit to really commit, be honest, figure out, let's do this creative thing. You need to figure it out. There was still no expectations, to quit at X date or something like that, but there was this commitment, because I think it happens when we are very comfortable in our 9 to 5s. It's easy to experiment and just dabble around like for fun, but I think that commitment, or that forced commitment, which you got, is really helpful.
The thing is also like, I think that there are a lot of people, I don't want to say the percentage, but I mean, in my case, at least in advertising, it's like a super demanding industry, in the sense of like you work a lot of long hours usually, and you are super, every day is like super fast, and lots of projects and so on, especially when you work like in huge agencies. And what I was seeing from my colleagues, it was like almost everyone was super fed up, but they still kept working in the agency after 4, 5, 6 years. Like people are like working in the same agency for 8 years, and like, oh yeah, I hate my job, or like I want to quit or whatever, but they don't do it, and I was like, why not, like, and me too. And then I think I thought about it for myself, and I was like in a similar situation, like working a lot and so on, and complaining to my girlfriend or whatever. But then it's like, so why don't you pull the trigger? So I think that's, that happens to a lot of people, to have that fear. So that's why I feel I was super lucky to get fired.
Yeah. But I think some important point, which probably some listeners can take away, because to me, what really changed, I was still working in 9 to 5, and I had this, commitment and a sense of clarity. Okay, these types of visuals is something that I want to do, and I have the team, whatever, let's commit, let's do it daily. And I just found the time to do it, at least one visual a day, basically during my 9 to 5. Usually it was like early in the mornings before my work, because I have a lot of energy and kind of I do my own thing, and then I start to do 9 to 5 and so on. That was the thing of me. And basically that consistent action of this content creation led to some audience growth, meeting some new people, and initially some freelance gigs, which basically gave that growth and those opportunities which came in out of the blue, just from like creating daily content, fueled that belief that I can really do this, and just lean in and do it all, like that thing I'm doing right now. And as I understood, for you, it's kind of very similar. Apart, you were kind of laid off, and you just went on Twitter and you decided, I will share what I've learned and what I know, or what I want to figure out, basically, as well, every day, through tweets, through threads, and so on. And that's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So the thing is, if I had a job right now and wanted to quit with everything that I know now, obviously it's not fair, but what I would do is like find the time on your work day or after hours, like maybe 1 hour later, to do like, okay, this is what I want to do, like as a freelance or as a, whatever, and find a way to do it daily and put it out there, and do that for a certain period of time. It might be 1 month, it can be 1 year, but sooner or later you will find these opportunities that will help you probably like switch careers. So that's what I would do, like finding that minimum thing that I can do to prove my skills, but do it daily. I think that's the consistency is key, like super cliche. Yeah, but it's a cliche, but it's true, and it's needed in this case. So
absolutely I agree. Yeah. And I think another important point, I think Twitter is really good platform if you are like creator with zero audience anywhere, because it's easy to connect and so on, and it supports good content, if you even and just, I don't know, comment to others work with some people you aspire and so on. I think that really helps to people kind of notice you. And I don't know, if you have the chance, join these communities, because I think both of our stories, Visualize Value was a kind of good initial kickoff for us as well, because we just met some other people which were doing these types of things. So but that's it.
I think it was pretty cool. We shared a bit of our stories, and hopefully people get some takeaways. And like everyone, go quit your jobs.
Go quit your jobs. Get it done. We need the picture for thumbnail.
Exactly.
Get it done. That's actually from my last job. The job.
That's pretty funny.
I actually have a cup from each of my employed jobs, and I wanted to lay them like on the clouds, like that job, and then I wanted to create a cup with unemployable or something like that.
Wow, that's cool. you should make that. That's super cool.
I should as long as I have still these cups and they are not broken. But okay,
cool.
That's the episode.